Hi friends, welcome to episode number 5 of our intercompany order series. This is going to be our last episode in our intercompany order series of videos, and I will strongly recommend you to watch episode number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order so that you get the complete understanding of what is intercompany orders, how to perform a 2-leg, 3-leg, and multi-leg chain. So in this episode we will have a quick walkthrough of how some of the important functionalities will help you in terms of managing your day-to-day operations related to intercompany orders. Make sure that you watch this video until then, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel D3 Straight Talks. With that note, let's quickly jump into today's topic. So let's quickly get into today's topic of the conclusion regarding the intercompany orders. So we already discussed in detail about the 2-leg, 3-leg, and multi-leg intercompany order chain. So this will be a very quick episode where we will be discussing about some of the key functionalities which will help you in terms of handling your day-to-day business operations. So that's what we are going to see in this video, and I will also share all the related document links which will help you to do the demo run in your whenever if you want to practice these intercompany order scenarios, right? So first option which we are going to see is disconnect intercompany orders. During your business operations, there may be multiple scenarios during which you need to disconnect the intercompany chain, whether it is 2-leg, 3-legged, or multi-legged. And there is a functionality in Dynamics 365 which will help you to disconnect the complete intercompany order chain. How to do that? Let me quickly get into Dynamics 365 screen. So if you go to procurement and sourcing module, yeah, we are already in procurement and sourcing module. Under periodic task, under cleanup, there is this option called disconnect intercompany orders. Just get into this page. In this page, you can view the related intercompany order based on the order type and the order ID selected. So based on these two selection, you can view the appropriate details of the original sales order, purchase order, intercompany order details. And on the next tab, you will be able to view the orders which are already disconnected. So even if you want to check what are the orders which are already disconnected in the system, you can come to this page and view those disconnected orders. So for example, in this case, let's say if we select a purchase order, I'm not sure if there are any order IDs. We don't have any order IDs in purchase order. It depends upon the legal entity. In this case of USM of only the sales order ID, intercompany sales order ID is applicable, then the appropriate IDs will be available. So in this case, for USM of sales order, we have 4 intercompany order IDs. Let's say if I select any specific order ID, then immediately system shows it belongs to which company, which particular legal entity, and the sales order intercompany, what is the intercompany for which this order is created, and the appropriate intercompany purchase order and the original sales order. So you have all the details to take a decision whether you want to disconnect this intercompany chain or not. So if you want to disconnect, just simply click on disconnect at the top, and make sure that this prompt clearly says once intercompany order is disconnected, it will not be possible to reconnect it anymore. So this is a kind of reconfirmation from the business user side that you are sure about disconnecting the intercompany orders. So in that case, just simply click on OK. So this will disconnect the intercompany order and add the particular order ID in the below grid, right? And you will not be able to reconnect. Forget about this option of reconnect. This is not a functionality which is commonly is not possible, and this is generally used for synchronization of the data. So forget about the option of reconnect. You will not be able to do the reconnection of the disconnected orders. If you want to reconnect, then make sure that you create a new intercompany order. Do not go for this option of reconnecting the disconnected intercompany orders, right? So this is the important functionality number 1. And number 2, which we want to discuss is, let's say for some reasons, for between the intercompanies of the legal entities, if you want to stop the intercompany transactions for a specific item, then how to do that, right? So this can be controlled using an option in release products. So let me get into Dynamics 365 screen, and let me check. I'm sure we were using the same item D0001. So let me go to the same item. Because throughout the series we were using the same item for creating the intercompany chain, right? So for example, if I want to stop the purchase of intercompany orders for this item D0001 mid-range speakers, then the action which we need to take is, and we have the multiple FOSS tabs in release product, right? So let me collapse all. uh, so we have multiple FOSS tabs under the purchase section, and under the sales section you need to enable the intercompany stopped. So once if this is enabled, then this item cannot be used for intercompany scenarios. So if you want to stop only for purchase cases, then in those cases you need to enable it under purchase. Or if you want to stop it from selling, in those cases you need to enable the intercompany stopped under the sell for tab. So this will stop the intercompany transaction for this particular specific item only. Right, so this will be very handy in some cases if you want to kind of get rid of the existing stock and do not want the purchasing team to add or purchase more material. In those cases you can enable the intercompany stop under purchase, and then only disable the intercompany stop in sell cases. So you will be selling continuously but you will not piling up stock, right? And the next important functionality which I want to discuss is in most of the cases during our day-to-day operations, we also want to know what is the goods in transit specifically for intercompany orders, right? And in case of if there are any order price discrepancies, because even though the prices, even based on, if you remember in the episode number 1, we discussed about setting up allow price edit and the unit price. And if the allow unit price is given both at the sales order and the purchase order, then there are chances of unit price discrepancies, right? So if you want to know whether what is the goods in transit and what is the order price discrepancies, then in that case all you have to do is just first of all, if you want to know the goods in transit, go to inventory management, not in procurement and sourcing module, under inquiries and reports. Then if you go to inventory value reports, yeah, you here you have two reports by default, using which you will be able to kind of generate the intercompany goods in transit transaction and the transit totals. So this is basically a report where you need to provide a date range, or you can also provide a date interval code based on the current period, and then just simply click on OK. So this will show you the list of intercompany goods in transit transactions. So using which you will be able to identify if there are any receipts. Currently, we don't have any data for this and legal entry. Let me check if there are anything available in DEMF. So I just change the legal entity and then I'm going to run the same report. Let's check if there are any transactions available. So if there are any applicable transactions available, then the system will throw you with all the list of line items. Then you can take the appropriate action based on the same. So I don't think so there is any transactions which are in transit. So that is fine. But these two are the reports which you need to use. And to identify the discrepancies of the prices, what you have to do is, if you go to procurement and sourcing module, and under the section of I think under purchase orders, if you go to intercompany, so there is an option to check for intercompany order price discrepancies. So this is not going to correct the discrepancies, but it just will, this report will help you to identify if there are any price discrepancies. So this is not going to correct those price discrepancies. You can also set it as a bad job, and the user will be alerted or notified whenever there is a price discrepancy in the intercompany orders. So that's why told in the episode number 1, make sure that you always allow the price edit in this either the sales order or in the purchase order, but not in both, right? And the last one which I want to discuss here is the intercompany return orders. So the return order process remains the same like the way we did the intercompany sales order and the purchase order, but primarily the users need to use the return order form. So we will not be discussing in detail about this, but all you have to probably, when we are getting into the sales order module, we will discuss about the return order capability. But under sales and marketing, there is a separate section called sales return. So here, if you go to the all return orders, and you have to create a return order from this page. Right now we are in DEMF, right? Let me go to USMF. I think in the USMF we have this customer ID for DEMF. So it's better we go from USMF, then you will be able to get that point. So let's say if I click on new, and then let me create a intercompany return order for Contoso Europe. Contoso Europe is DEMF, right? DE-001. So the moment I select the item, select the customer count, which is customer code, which is Contoso Europe DEMF, you can see the intercompany is created. And let me put any arrows, that is fine, and click on OK. So here on the process remains the same. You can see if we go to the notification pane, so immediately it creates the intercompany purchase order also. The return order equivalent for the purchase order is created. So in a way, moment if you add the item, let's say if I'm planning to return item A0001, um, I think this item will be immediately added in your intercompany purchase order also. The process will remain the same. Here the return quantity will be negative, unlike the traditional intercompany orders where the quantity will be positive. Here, since we are returning the item, the quantity will be negative. Let me click on save, and at the same time, missing DM of operation stopped. Okay, this is because you can see here the item, just because we have enabled the parameters enabled, the item product ID, the product name HTM6 cable inch, TM of operation stopped. Neither purchase orders nor intercompany sales order have been created. So in A0001 in DMF it was actually stopped for transactions. That's the reason it is not allowing. So this is a live example. Probably let me select another item. Let me click on save. Okay, this is also, we have the same issue. So what I'll do is let me check whether we have done for T0001. So let me click on save again. So here also under general section you can view the intercompany tracing, where intercompany purchase order and the intercompany return orders can be tracked. So this item is now saved. Now let me go to the intercompany purchase order. Since we have created this return order in USMF, a intercompany purchase order is created automatically in DMF. So moment I click on intercompany purchase orders, the legal entity will be changed automatically, and you can see the same item is added with a negative quantity. So, and then you have to follow the same process of completing the return orders, and then completing the packing slip and then posting the product receipt in the return purchase orders, and the entire chain remains the same, right? But we will discuss about the return order transactions in detail when we get into the sales and marketing module. And I will also share with you another doc link where based on the various scenarios, like let me show you the Microsoft doc page. So I will also share this page link where if you delete an original sales order, what exactly happens if you disable direct delivery on a original sales order. So this page kind of covers the multiple scenarios, and it is if you read through these scenarios, you will be able to understand how the system will behave. I'm not going through the each and every scenario, but I will strongly recommend you to read the scenarios, whatever highlighted over here. What is the operation if it is performed? Then what is the expected result in the system, right? So I will share the link for this page in the description. Please do check this out. So with that, we kind of covered a complete basic understandings of intercompany orders, and very soon we are going to start our next series. Make sure that you are subscribing to the channel D3 Straight Talks, or follow my profile in LinkedIn. See you soon in another interesting topic.